Hey, Brian Glass here, engineer at Newborn. Today I'm going to go through how to use your bolt gun once you've chosen it. I'm going to go through that with our 624 GTS model. Go through loading and how it can be used as a bolt gun primarily, that's what it's used for, but how it can also be used as a sausage gun and a cartridge gun. So let's get into it. So the first thing is how to load the bolt gun using it as a bolt gun. This is a 2-gallon pail here. I have a 2-gallon follow plate. That's one way we're going to show you how to load it, and the other is just dropping the front of the barrel of the gun in and drawing the material up, almost kind of like a big syringe. Now to open the metal bucket, you can use this pail lid opener that we carry. It works great on the metal buckets, on plastic buckets, paint cans, a whole number of things. And this little piece here will cut the slot on the plastic lid. And anyway, so it's just nice to use. It's a lot easier than using a flathead screwdriver, as you can see. Just go around and pry them all open and you'll be able to open it up. Now once you've pried all the tabs up with the pail lid opener, so take the lid off, remove the plastic or any other seal that the manufacturer might have put in there. And the first way to load I'll show is with a follower plate. This is a tapered, a follower plate that works with tapered pails and buckets or straight-sided pails and buckets, and that's due to this neoprene seal that we have around the edge. Now, follower plates usually used in situations where you might be, the trips between getting to the bulk material are going to be a little longer, and something like silicone can skin over fairly quickly. So this kind of helps in that. This also gets you a nice clean bucket when you're drawing all the material out, and the name follower plate, it basically follows the top level of the sealant. So what you do first is take it and slide it down in. Alright, so sliding it down until it hits the top of the sealant. And now I press it in pretty solid to try to get as much of the air out as you can. You'll see some of the materials coming up through the center. I'll take my end cap off. And on the thumb release here there's a clip. What you want to do is put that clip over the thumb release. And what that allows you to do is have the freedom of moving that rod back and forth instead of holding it down. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll hold it like this and draw back. But with the thumb release and the clip on it, just a little easier to maneuver here. So I'm going to take the front end of the barrel and you simply slide it over the O-ring gasket, push it down in place. Now what I do is I'm going to push down a little bit more, and you simultaneously push down on the follower plate while drawing the rod up. So you're getting two things. You're getting the follower plates pushing the material into the center hole here, while you're also creating a vacuum and sucking the material up. I got a little bit of air. I'm going to push it down a little further. So that's what I'm doing, simultaneously pushing down. Now I'm not going to fill it all the way up, just for the sake of the video, we'll just do that. One other thing that's really nice about a follower plate is you keep the barrel really nice and clean. So now it's fairly filled. You have a decision. You can either use the ring cap and the metal nozzle. In just about every one of our bolt guns you're going to get what I'm about to show you here. We supply the most accessories with the gun out of the market. In this case you can either use this ring cap and metal nozzle. We've got a number of different nozzles with different profiles. This one's just a oval nozzle. Or you can go with the plastic cone and the ring cap. Now one thing you can do with this 600 series and our 800 series, so we have a little spout cutter built into the trigger. So, you know, there's only a certain size opening you can create with this setup, but put it in whatever angle you might want. And that's about the size you're going to get. Now if you needed a larger opening, just simply take a a knife, whatever angle you might want, and let's say you've got a large joint. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I'll use the cone. And once you've got it loaded, you just put your cone or your metal nozzle on that you want, and squeeze the trigger like this, like you would any other style caulk gun. And again, on the 600 series, we have this adjusted stroke. I'll show you something real quick. I spun it around so that the larger portion is hitting the top of the friction plate here, facing forward. That's going to give me about a 7-to-1 thrust ratio. Just out like that. And if I spin it around, I'll get a 14-to-1 thrust ratio. Now let's say you get to the bottom of the bucket with your follower plate. One of the things that we provide on our follower plate is this handle that you can screw in to remove it. You can imagine if that's all the way at the bottom, there's a lot of suction that's been created, and it's essentially stuck in the bottom. It's very difficult to get a follower plate out of a bucket that doesn't have one of these, and we provide this with it. And just gently rock it back and forth. Now, of course, I didn't finish the bucket off, so there's going to be a little extra material than what you'd normally see. Now, the second way to load a ball gun is just to drop the end of the barrel into the sealant and draw it up like a syringe. Now, before you do that, I recommend taking like a little WD-40, spraying the end a little bit, just to help keep the sealant off the outside a little bit better, because unlike a follower plate, the front of your gun is going to get a little material on it. Again, it's up to you. You can either hold it, the thumb release that is, down while you have it in, or you can use the clip to hold it in. That's a preference thing. And what you want to do is when you drop it in, wiggle it around a little bit, make sure there are no air pockets, and again, be at least an inch below. You don't have to go too much further than an inch, because the further you go in, the more material is going to be on your gun. And in this case, as you're drawing the material up, the top level of the sealant is going to drop, and you just want to make sure you keep that barrel and at least an inch below. Wiggle it every so often just to make sure there's no air pockets. Again, I'm not going to load the whole gun. You'll get the gist of it. You'll see with that WD-40 on there, I didn't get too much on there. We'll just have a rag on hand and do a quick swipe. You can go back to the cone that I was using earlier. Again, you can use the metal nozzle. But in this case, I'm going to grab one of our specialty articulating nozzles, our bead buddies. I'm going to grab the larger version and use that instead. Now, the bead buddies are nice because there are definitely going to be times where you're in a position where you can't reach something, or it's in an awkward angle, or you just want to get a little bit more of an ergonomic positioning. So you see here, this is the large version, and I can keep the angle of the gun a little different than I had before. And that's one version. You can see I can go straight like the green cone here, or I can angle it as I had it done there. Now, unlike a follower plate, when you're using one of those, and it'll sit on the sealant, it'll clean the sides out, and you'll get most of the material out with the follower plate. You can imagine without one, as you're dropping the gun in and drawing it up, some material is going to be left on the side and different spots in the center. You'll take a bucket scraper like this and clean the edge, the inside of the pail, the sides of the inside of the pail. It'll also allow you to kind of trowel it in. If this is open, you can imagine troweling some of the material into the end of the bolt gun. Also, if you're doing like 2-part urethanes or you're color matching, you want to get all the material mixed well. You get all the material off the sides, during that mixing process. And one other thing that the bucket scraper is nice for is when you're using a follower plate, help you clean off the bottom of it, as you can see here. Now, all of our 2-inch diameter barrel bolt guns are capable of extruding material out of a sausage pack as well. The 400 series ratchet rod style is equipped with a conical ejector and a dual height rail cup that allow you to do both bulk or sausage without changing anything out. The 900 series doesn't actually come with anything to do a sausage pack. You can purchase something like this, which comes with all the other guns, is our floating height rail cup or floating sausage cup, and you can use it on a 900 series, but at that high a thrust ratio, just not as often that you're going to need it as a sausage gun. But this is what you're going to get with all the other ones outside of the 400 series, the ratchet rod. And this is our floating sausage cup, and it simply sits on the end of your leather cups, which are already installed in the gun. What I do is I put the clip onto the thumb release, just like this. I use my feet to hold the T-handle, set the sausage pack on the cup, and slowly pull the barrel up while holding the sausage pack down and bring it right up to the edge. And then what I do to use it as a sausage gun is, instead of cutting the entire end off, which can create a mess, and if you have a lower viscosity material, material will flow a lot around it instead of into the cone or the nozzle that you're going to be using. I just put simply a slit or two, like such, and the foil pack under the pressure will open up for you. And what I'm going to do, just for the sake of not getting something else dirty, I'll use the plastic cone that I had used earlier when dispensing bulk material. And you just simply put it on like this. You can't use, I would say you definitely don't want to use the metal nozzles with the sausage pack, because it doesn't give you the opportunity to get the sausage pack up inside as well. And by getting it up inside the cone a little bit, it limits the backflow of any of the material that you might get otherwise. After you remove the sausage pack, if you can imagine this entire sausage pack is spent, this floating sausage cup with this small indentation, which is kind of a mini version of our conical ejector, will push the sausage pack up into the cone, and what you'll be left with is like a little hockey puck of material in the sausage pack. You'll be left with an ounce or so in there, and that's nice. It's smaller and easier to dispose of. Now, if you want to utilize this gun, I mean, it's essentially a bolt gun, and can be used as a sausage gun with this floating sausage cup. But if you want to turn this into a sausage gun the whole time, what I would, don't have to do this, you can just have it floating like I showed. But what some people will do is they will take the barrel off, remove this front leather cup, unscrew it, take the front leather cup off, and put the floating sausage cup on permanently, and then you have a permanent sausage gun with this. Now, in addition to being predominantly a bolt gun and can be used for sausage, you can also convert this to a 10-ounce cartridge gun. And what you do is, the barrel removed, you take off this leather cup, remove these, and what you would do is you purchase this push plate, an EP92. Purchase this separately. Tighten that all the way down to it. Not quite till it bottoms out, but till you see the thread coming up here. And you can lock it on the side of the set screw. Put your barrel back on. You'll see that there's a gap there, and that allows you to use it as a cartridge gun. Slide your cartridge in, and then you want to utilize the ring cap that comes with the gun. and you can extrude a 10-ounce cartridge. So all of our 2-inch diameter bulk guns, as I've shown, can also do cartridges or sausages and cartridges. And actually our sausage guns, which we'll get into in another video later, the 600 and 900 series sausage guns are also capable of doing bulk and cartridge. So our bulk and sausage guns are very versatile guns. You can do a lot with them. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you have any further questions or are in need of any other information, please contact our customer service department. Thanks and have a great day.